And now it's time to preview an upcoming game.
Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Today we're going to be dropping letters all over the place. Of course, very strategically and in the right place, and actually making sense of the letters. Today we're looking at WordTov, which essentially is a two-player game, or it can be played as two teams, where essentially it's a word game where you're putting things down, you're going to be flipping colors. It's pretty interesting. Let me show you how it's played, and I'll see you on the other side. In WordTov here, we've got the board, and each player gets a bag full of letters. One player decides to be the red team, the other the blue team, and it can be a two-player game, or you can play two teams of two people helping each other out. So each of them are going to drag 8 of these letters out of the bag and put them on the spots on the board. And notice that these letters are double-sided, so it doesn't matter which bag you grab. The K is going to be red on one side, and it's going to be blue on the other side. One player decides to go first randomly, and they build a word that's at least 2 letters long, so maybe this person builds sneak. Just like that. Now, they've used 5 letters, so they will then grab 5 more letters from the bag. Now, these ones that say WordTov essentially are wilds, and once they're used as that specific letter, they stay that letter for the rest of the game. And so they have drawn more tiles, because you always draw up to 8 at the end of your turn. So on the next turn, the red player gets to go, and maybe they build S, W, A, and T here, SWAT. Now, because this touches the blue word, and they placed 3 tiles, they can turn any of these 3 tiles to red. So maybe they go 1, 2, and 3, because they used 3 tiles that touched, 1, 2, 3, and we have it like that. Then they would draw back up to 8 and be the blue player's turn. So maybe the blue player builds water. W-A-T-E-R. And they've placed 4, so they get to flip over 4 of these tiles to blue. So maybe they flip 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all of them. So blue is doing really well right now, and flipping over the other tiles as that happens. There we go. That's how the board looked. Then the blue would draft back up to 8 tiles, and the red turn would go. And red could use this for a K-I-T-E. So the WordTov is wild, and so I can go change any 3 of these. So red could go 1, 2, and 3. Let me go over a couple of special cases here. If you use all 8 letters, so let's see, it's blue to E, L, L, with the WordTov is an L, I, N, G, and you can make 2 new words if you use all 8 letters. So I use telling and fee. And when you use all 8, every letter that touches that word gets flipped, even if it's more than 8 of them. So in this case, all of these would go to blue like this. And all of these would go to blue because it touches it. It doesn't matter if there's more than 8, because when you play all 8, it's called a WordTov, and you can do them all. And now everything here would be blue. The last special case is an anagram. And so an anagram is a word that can use the same letters but be rearranged to be something else. So let's say we have this. We have pi and we have silent. On your turn, let's say it's the blue player's turn. Before they do their turn, they can turn the tiles over to create an anagram. So this is silent, S-I-L-E-N-T. Now you can use that to create listen. Now remember, this letter still has to be an N. So you could say L, I, S, T, E, N. And that stays an N, and you can flip that, and then you can still take your turn. And you have to make sure that when this happens, that all the other connecting words still make sense. Pi still reads pi because the I stayed in the same spot, and that allowed them to flip a lot of these letters, and now they get to take their normal turn. So this going back and forth will continue until neither of the two can create a word. And when that happens, whoever has more colored tiles on the board wins. All right, there's WordTov. So as you can see, it has some similarity to some very popular games like Scrabble, where you're putting words as crosswords, putting them down, but it has that interesting twist where when you build on somebody's word, depending on how many tiles you put down, that's how many tiles from the word that connects that you can flip to your side. Also, having the special things where if you play all 8 tiles, you get to twist all of the tiles of any of the words that those touch to yours, no matter how many you played. You also have some special things of those anagrams where you can flip things around before you turn. So there's some interesting special things that you can do. And also just the back and forth tug of war of changing the colors here obviously is the thing that gives this the biggest twist and makes it different from other word games. So if this looks interesting to you, just below me, right at the end of this video, there's going to be a link. That link will bring you right to the Kickstarter page that is live right now. And I'm sure if this is something that's interesting to you, check that out. And I know they'd love your support.
Thanks for watching our review today. For more information about board games, as well as the #1 board game audio podcast, check out Dicetower.com for reviews, interviews, and more. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.